funny, so weird. Let's see. So make sure to invite your friends. Yes, we are live. We are live on YouTube with Fair 101 with Miss Nicole Brooke. So let's wait for a moment and see if some other people are going to join us on YouTube. You're going to need a pencil and paper. You're going to need a quiet, safe space for you to be able to do an energetical practice with us. And I would love for you to get some water as well. Gotta stay hydrated. I love you, I love you, love you. Make sure you packed your water nicely, okay? Okay, so let's just get set up here. We are live on YouTube. We are live on TikTok. And I have my slides ready. I was a kindergarten teacher for 10 years. So lesson planning and stuff like that, I know how to do pretty well. Okay, so we have one person on YouTube and one person on TikTok. Woo! So who is ready and excited to reclaim their energy from the 3D matrix? Can I get an amen? So even though that this is about spiritual warfare, I want to iterate and reiterate that I am an advocate for peace and unity. I come in higher service to deliver some universal truths that have been swept under the rug for a very long time. And now the rug is opening up and we can see what's actually been going on in the world. There's a lot of confusion right now and discernment is going to leave it, okay? Anything that I say can activate your own. That I say 1,000%, because everywhere prayer or not, it is okay. I'm gonna look at and just giving some. First, taking a deep breath and saying thank you to all of the light workers, all of the light forces here on Earth, and our galactic friends who have been helping us with humanity's awakening and planetary ascension for a long time. Even though we may not know it, they are there for us. So I just want to give a big thank you. To communicate very delicate topics in a concise way, in a way that makes sense, and in a way that will not startle but uplift people. I pray for smooth technology. We've already had a little bit of a glitch, but I pray that we continue to have a smooth ride with the technology, both on TikTok and on YouTube. And I also pray that every single person who is listening in with me or who will listen in the future be blessed and come divine, because I know that that is going to be greatly needed. I assume and I trust that all of these miracles and blessings will be scattered around the entire earth. And I ask that you just give us faith, the divine, give us faith that everything is going to be a-okay. In Jesus' name, amen. Now let's go. So spiritual warfare is a very serious matter. So I will try my best to be as concrete and concise as possible. If some things do not make sense to you and needs repeating, type it in the chat box. You can send me an email, msnicolebrooke@gmail.com, and I will be happy to assist you in understanding what is going on. And I'm also going to make this PowerPoint presentation available for you so you can follow along later and you can reread it and really let these truths sink in. Okay, so I assume you have your paper, your pencil, your water, and a quiet space. And now I'm going to go over our syllabus. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is I'm going to give you the objectives. What are we trying to learn today? I'm going to give you a little introduction about myself. I'm going to give you a little vocabulary lesson. And then we're going to go into spirituality basics, spiritual warfare explained, and spiritual warfare what's actually going on in the world. And then we're going to go into an energy practice to protect, reclaim, cleanse, and heal your energy, okay? And then we'll go into a conclusion and time for question and answers. All right, so the objectives. We got 4 main objectives today. To understand the truth of yourself as an energetical, spiritual being, physically incarnated in this earth. Number 2, to understand our current global situation and how humanity has been enslaved and finding the way out of all of this mess, okay? Number 3 is develop the skills and the energy tools to protect, reclaim, cleanse, and heal your energy. And the 4th one, together we are going to lift the frequency of the planet in our group practice. And that is one of our great deeds that we're going to be doing for the world. All right. So who am I? Who is Miss Nicole Brooke? Well, I am an ex-kindergarten teacher turned burlesque performer. And after my mom passed away, she opened up a huge spiritual portal for me to be able to learn about the other side and the inner workings of the spiritual world. Last February, she revealed to me that I was Mary Magdalene in my past life. And since then, I have been undigging, unearthing all of the mysteries of life. It's been a lot to process, and now I'm ready to come forward with my story and, more importantly, to come through with all of the information on the baton. And now I'm coming to you with all this information, okay? Since then, I have become a cosmic historian. So in my genes, I understand the world and the universe in a way that nobody does. I remember the origins of how the universe began and where the universe has gone since then. I am a light worker, so I transmute all the dark, dense energy and I turn it into light. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a little bit. I'm a 5D grid keeper and a Stargate activator. I have become a spiritual master, an energetical master, after surviving a lifetime of spiritual attacks and mental health issues. I have a master's in teaching and education from Lehigh University with over a decade of teaching experience, including, actually the majority of my experience has been in Spain. I am also sexy, which combines spirituality with sensuality and chair dancing. Fun stuff. And I'm also a Jay Shetty certified life and success coach specializing in rewiring your mind and manifesting your dreams. There will be an opportunity to work with me at the end, so make sure you stick with me. All right. So let's go into now a little vocabulary lesson from an extraterrestrial, benevolent extraterrestrial race. Okay. And their presence alone as a starseed actually lifts the frequency of this earth because they're just full of so much love and light. They have a strong intuition, increased sensitivity to energy. They're highly empathic, and their interests may lie in esoteric matters and wanting to find out what is out there. They have this existential longing for their soul to understand what's going on. So, light worker. What is a light worker? A light worker is an awakened and unaligned starseed who transmutes all this dark energy, this dense, low vibrational sadness, depression, anxiety, fear. They turn that into light, into higher vibrational energy. So they have advanced spiritual abilities like I do, and they often communicate with their spirit team who gives them divine missions to clear and cleanse certain places on the earth to heal the 5D grid. I'll go into a little bit more about the grids and 3D, 4D, 5D in a few minutes. So for example, I have a friend, Angelic, who is an incredible light worker and Stargate activator with me in Barcelona, outside of Barcelona, and in Sevilla, to be there to cleanse out all the energy, to receive activations, and do some spiritual work in that area so we are ready for planetary ascension, which I'll cover. Now, grid keeper. A grid keeper is now a specialized light worker who uses their energy and their spiritual abilities to strengthen that 5D grid, assisting in planetary ascension. So they are key players in that helps the 5D grid strengthen. So now, ascension. What is ascension? Well, on an individual level, ascension is that inner spiritual journey in reuniting with your divinity, reuniting with your divinity, reuniting with God, reuniting with your own higher self by expanding your consciousness. So my ascension journey was through personal development of training my mind and my ego to kind of calm down, relax, not be acting out of a place of wounding and out of a place of pain. And I was able to self-master enough healing and transmuting all of his wounds. And so that was my specific ascension journey. So it's all about coming home to yourself, coming home to who you really are. Your ascension is your spiritual journey and reuniting with God. Now, planetary ascension is the ascension of the whole earth and per humans going into the fifth dimension. If you've heard, we are shifting realities. We are going up another letter because we've had so much light come into the earth that now we are ready for our spiritual journey as a collective. So we will be entering in a new dimension, which will be happening shortly through mass ascension. So we have our personal ascension, we have our planetary ascension, because Gaia, our planet, is graduating into life into a higher dimension. And mass ascension will be bringing her humans with her into the fifth dimension. So now let's get a little bit into what is the difference between the 3D matrix, the 4D, the 5D. What does this all mean? So dimensions is a web of light, of information, of energy, and the separation from God. It has a lot of fear. It has a lot of doubts. It has a lot of worry. It has a lot of suffer. Very low emotions. Okay, it is made by an extraterrestrial race that has wanted to enslave humanity. And so they have brainwashed us into thinking that we're full of our lives. Money is part of the 3D matrix. Okay, so it's all part of their dark agenda to keep us playing small, to make us feel like we don't have any power. So that is at the 3D level. Now, you go up to the 4D level, and that is your astral realm. The 4D astral realm is where you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, your soul has a light body. So you have your physical body and you have a light body. When you go to sleep at night, your light body leaves your physical body and it goes up one level. It goes into the 4D astral realm. That is dream time. Okay. Now, in this fourth dimension, that is where there are dark entities that lurk around and take advantage of innocent souls. That touches into our spiritual warfare. Okay. When you typically think about ghosts, they are souls who have died but are in denial about their death and don't want to leave the earth. So they live on the fourth dimension. Okay? So it's now 5D, so we have 3D vibrating very low. 4D vibrating a little bit faster, because remember, we're all energy. We have energy bodies for each of the dimensions. Now we go up into 5D. Now 5D is a very special dimension because it is defined by unity consciousness, because we all know the truth. When you die, you go up to the fifth dimension, where you meet with your spirit team, the ascended masters, a group of ascended masters who will take a look at your life and be like, okay, you got this, you did that, fabulous. Oh, but we need to work on this, and this, okay? So the fifth dimension is where everyone knows everything. It is also located inside the photon belt. So in our universe, there is like a belt of free energy, and our earth currently does not vibrate on that level. It's only fifth and above. And so in the fifth dimension, you get into the photon belt, and that's where we have free energy. That is where you have galactic highways. Okay, so our new earth, if you've heard about a new earth, that is actually the holographic version of earth in a renewed, beautiful, pristine state. That when we go, like, okay, we're in the shift of the ages, we're shifting realities. And so when we go into the fifth dimension, we are going to have constant communication with extraterrestrial beings. We will have contact with our past loved ones, because it is vibrating at such a high level that it has extraterrestrial beings and other spirits that are in their light body. Okay. This is also, fifth dimension is also where Christ consciousness reigns. So if you've seen a lot of people turn to God and to Jesus and Mary Magdalene recently, it is because this Christ light has been hitting our earth, awakening us to the truth. Okay. So 3, 4, 5. And then in another class, I'll tell you what is on the sixth dimension, the seventh dimension, the eighth dimension. And then in another class, I'll tell you what is on the sixth dimension, the seventh dimension, the eighth dimension. I am very gratefully allowed to go all the way up to the 22nd dimension into other universes. And I can tell you guys more about that at a later time. Okay, so we had our vocabulary lesson, and now we're going to go on to spiritual basics. Okay, so number 1, you are an eternal, multidimensional spiritual being, incarnated in a human body, having a human physical experience on the earth. Okay, so you are eternal. Your soul lasts forever. You are multidimensional, so you exist on different states of dimensions all at the same time. But your consciousness is right here. There are other parts of you that exist on different planes, okay? And you are a spiritual being. You have a soul, and this soul reincarnates to learn different lessons. And the Earth School is known as the best place to learn because of the drastic dualistic nature and condition that has been present on our earth. So it has been the good and the evil, the light and the dark. We come here to learn about duality and learn about ourselves. Okay? When you die, you don't die forever. You do not die forever. Your soul is eternal. It is always there. Energy can never be destroyed. It is just transmuted. And so it leaves your physical body. It turns into your light body, and you continue on your evolution in a different place. You maybe might have a resting place, and then you can incarnate in the earth much later. It's all up to your own spiritual team. Okay? But when you die, you return to oneness. You return to God. Okay? You return to the divine, to source. And let's think of source energy as this big ball of energy, okay? You are an extension. So everything that has life in the universe and on this planet is an extension and an expression of source energy. In another class, I'll explain to you quantum spirituality, and it's who is who in the Holy Family, who is who in the spiritual dimensions, the archangels, the dimensions, but we are all one. That's why there's so many songs. We are one, because we're all one of that source energy. Okay? When you incarnate in earth, you lose your spiritual abilities because there's something called the veil of forgetfulness. It is part of the game that we play on this human, in this human life. Okay? So when you incarnate as a baby, and whatever beliefs and thoughts and systems and society that you are incarnated in is what you put into your mind. And we have been raised in the 3D matrix in a set of beliefs that we are little, we are small, we have to be in fear, we have to suffer. And when you have an awakening, a spiritual awakening, you're like, oh, it's not like that, actually. And you start to gain your power back. But it is something that you have to work on. But you do have spiritual abilities. And if I could become psychic, you can too. Okay? So the goal in life is to wake up out of this 3D matrix, wake up out of the illusion of separation, to be happy, because we came here to be joyful beings, to be happy, to love, to remember who you are, and to self-realize, to become the best version of yourself. So you have a higher self. Like, think of a higher self. There's a diamond. You have a higher self who is the culmination of all of your past experiences and even your future lives. And it is putting all of its consciousness into this body, into this life that you have now. When we are talking intuition, your intuition comes from your higher self. So your higher self is always with you and is always helping you make decisions. And when you learn to listen to your intuition, you're actually learning to listen to your higher self. So you are one aspect of your higher self. You have many other versions of yourself. You've been a man, you've been a woman, you've been fat, you've been skinny, you've been ugly, you've been pretty. You've died early, you've died later. You've had a lot of different experiences. And the point of life is waking up to, oh, who was I in the past? Learn about everything that you've gone through, self your full potential, and do what you were meant to do here. Speaking of which, before you incarnated, you had written up a soul contract. So you have a group, a spiritual team who help you figure out the life lessons that you need to learn right now. So before you incarnated, you wrote a contract of, okay, these are the life experiences I'm going to put myself through on purpose to learn X, Y, and Z. So when you're in a crappy situation, part of changing that situation is realizing that you put yourself there in the first place. What did I need to learn in order to advance? Not only are experiences in the soul contract, but people and relationships. You will have soul contracts with other people that, for example, they may sign up to, on purpose, do something bad to you so that you can learn. So that's why forgiveness is such a big piece right now, especially in this earth as we transition into the new earth, is because you are going to realize that this person who did something to you actually was supposed to do that to you so you could learn. So you thank that person, thank you for teaching me that, and you can move on. And oftentimes, these people are actually your family members. Hate to tell you, but forgiving your mom and dad is a crucial part in your ascension journey. Okay, so let's see. So you were actually really psyched about incarnating in this life right now. So even though we're super excited about being here, so now it's about remembering why was I so joyful? Because we are about to see and witness a miracle, a prophecy that God and Jesus came here to tell us, hey, we're going to give you the new earth that is literally about to come through. There were lines of spirits and light beings who wanted to incarnate on this planet, but you had to have a special permission to do so because this is such an epic lifetime. So this is a time to get actually very, very excited. Okay, and so now that leads me into spiritual warfare. Now that we understand that we terrestrials exist, humans are not the only species in this universe. We have been taught to think, no. Extraterrestrial races, there are millions of them on different dimensions and different universes. We are just one of them. And actually, we are them. The starseeds and light workers that exist on this planet are extraterrestrial beings, benevolent extraterrestrial beings who decided to volunteer to incarnate into this earth to lift the vibration of the planet. So a long time ago, these benevolent extraterrestrial communities saw, oh my God, these humans are being taken advantage of by an evil extraterrestrial race that was trying to enslave them. So a call went out to the cosmos like, hello, who wants to go to Earth and help? And at first everyone was like, I don't know about that because it seems pretty harsh and disgusting down there. But we did it anyway, and our hard work is finally paying off. There are actually 3 waves of light workers in Dolores Cannon's work. Okay, so there are lots of different extraterrestrials that live on different planets and dimensions. We get a lot of help from the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, Andromedans, Solaris. There's a lot of different extraterrestrial species that are waiting to get to know us. They are not going to attack us. In fact, they're actually scared of us because the media and movies have trained us to think that they're going to attack us. So we're like, oh my gosh, extraterrestrials. But it's actually the other way around. And our world government tells us that because they themselves are actual evil ET species that have instincts. So why can't we see them? We are currently on a 3D level right now. Our perception can only let in a certain amount of light. Okay, that's why when you go to the fourth realm, the fourth dimension, and you are dreaming, it's really important for you to work with your dreams because different things will happen in there and you can communicate with different species in your dreams. So when you wake up, you write it down so you can continue evolving and have consciousness in your mind. So when we are brought up to the fifth dimension, our eyes will actually be trained to be able to see these extraterrestrial beings, spirits, and light bodies. But the reason why we can't see them now is because we vibrate at such a low level that we are not able to see all of their light. Okay? Just because we can't see them doesn't mean that they can't see us. In fact, the Earth is the busiest planet that exists right now. There are spiritual beings all around you. So why don't you look to your left and say, oh, hey. Look to the right and be like, spiritual beings all around you. So why don't you look to your left and say, oh, hey. Look to the right and be like, what's up? Because you are surrounded by light beings right now. And it's important that you actually know who's around you because it could be the negative entities, it could be your angels. I'm telling you now that you have a guardian angel and a spirit guide that are with you at all times. And when you tap into your spiritual abilities and you really work on your spiritual development, they will start to come through via telepathic method to teach you about who they are and how they can assist you. Star Wars and The Matrix. Those are Star Wars and The Matrix. Those are based on truth, and they are put into the media to start to, for us to kind of have it in our consciousness that exists at all. So the Earth has been the main battlefield for an intergalactic war for millennia. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we have been duped. Okay, there's an evil reptilian extraterrestrial race that has been successful at keeping humanity enslaved for so long because they are masterminds. They don't forget when they incarnate. So they have the luxury of remembering everything that's happened in the past, everything that has technology. They have clones. Like they are very, very highly developed civilizations and consciousness. And that's why they've been able to keep us enslaved for so long. They feed off of our energy. They feed off of our suffering, off of our fears, off of our doubts, our worries, jealousy, depression, aggression. Those are the low vibration energy emotions, because emotions are energy in motion. They feed off of that and they get off from that. So they have their child sex porn rings, they have mass murder from that. So they have their child sex porn rings, they have mass murders, they have war, they poison our food. They're literally trying to make us suffer so they can get off from it. It's disgusting. I know. So all of the negative energy that is going on in the world right now is actually polluting the universe. It has gotten that bad. It's gotten that bad that the Supreme Creator was like, is allowed to travel outside of it because the bad energy, the negative energy can get out. So as we shift into this new age that we're going into, we are actually going to be expanding not only our ability to travel astrally and within the different dimensions, but we are also liberating other extraterrestrial races to go visit their families and other universes as well. It's absolutely incredible. So one incredible thing that you need to know, actually not incredible, sad. Over evolution, the 3D matrix evil extraterrestrial race has spliced and diced our DNA. Okay, so in each little strand, there are or like each little like section, there are 12 strands of DNA. You only have, or the majority of humanity only has 2 of those strands. Foods, through lots of different methods, they have taken away our DNA. And what is in the rest of these 10 strands of DNA? That is your divine DNA. Your DNA is basically like a library of your cosmic origins and universal truths. So when you start your spiritual awakening, you are actually repairing your own DNA. Remember who you are so you can become literally superhuman. You can find out more about becoming superhuman with Joe Dispenza's work. He has some really amazing books, meditations, courses about how to activate your superpowers. Okay, so the reason why we are not connected with God and not connected with our cosmic origin is because of this DNA issue. Most of the DNA of humanity is carbon-based, crystals, water. Water holds memory. Drink some water. So you are basically training your body, turning it into light, turning it into pure light, which is what Jesus and Mary Magdalene did. That is what Jesus did when he ascended to the 5th dimension. Our DNA to keep us cut off from source and keep us away. God, source creator, started streaming in a lot of God light. So this was actually what, like, last year, February 2023, is precisely when I woke up to my truth as Mary Magdalene. And I became the target of constant spiritual attacks, which is how I became a spiritual master at warfare of making sure I protect my energy, clear my space, and activate my spiritual powers to get rid of these entities, not only in my field, but in the whole earth. Source creator awakening people. So even though it seems like it's gotten darker, which it has, it is because the light is bringing up the darkness so that we can transmute it, we can process it, and turn it into more light. He sends in, or they, because it's both male and female source creator. It's like grandma and grandpa, okay? They send in solar flares. So if you actually Google and look up solar flare activity, there has been a lot of resonance. Actually is a way to measure the vibration of our earth, and it has gone up. Refined light carries information, and all of this information activates our answer a question. Reincarnate without powers, we get our memories washed out and being abused. Why don't you go into it? Yeah, so when you incarnate into this physical body, you lose all your memories, you lose your spiritual powers, and that is the point of awakening, is remembering all of that. And we discern what is actually real, what is not, and we start to activate our own abilities, because we are the creator gods of our own life. We are an extension of creator God, and we are the creator gods of our own life and our own reality. So I was talking about these great solar reset button. Okay, it is going to be a ginormous, massive solar flash that will allow all souls to go back to their origin and have a cosmic reunion with their family of light. They will be having upgrades to their DNA. So when this light comes in, it is going to like pop this film that is over our DNA. Our DNA is protected, and we have a God molecule, diamond God molecule, that when the light touches it, it will be reactivated, and we will remember who we are and become our higher selves as we shift into the 5th dimension. And so we're literally a cosmic event. We are also going to have a great surge of Christ consciousness, because the things that happen, that God says that will happen in the Revelation, the last chapter of the Bible, will happen. And there's actually another revelation from the Essenes, which is actually the Jewish mystic community that Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Joseph, Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, they came from. And in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it has the book of Revelation, and it gives us the hope and the light of the new earth. And I just recorded a YouTube video reading it, so you guys can go and check that out. So all of the souls will go back to their original dimension, their home planet, have a great celebration, and then get into their new earth. Real, and we're about to see miracles happen right in front of us. This is the shift of the ages, the consummation of the ages. It's like game over, because we have tried being human 7 times now, and this is the last one. We know that 7 is a sacred number, and this is the last one. So game over. Number 1, raise your frequency by regulating your emotions. So negative entities cannot thrive on high vibes of love, of gratitude, of joy, of happiness. Any of those vibes, they cannot survive. Okay. So when you are surrounded by good people with good vibes, they are not going to be able to penetrate your energy and take in very low energy, and they bring you down in low energy. That is going to make you more vulnerable for any kind of spiritual attacks. Okay. You need consuming food. I'm talking about what you're consuming with your mind. Are you reading? Are you learning about your spiritual progress? Are you actually interested in what's going on in this world, or are you watching Netflix and are you watching the news? So the 3D matrix uses distraction as a way to keep you not understanding the reality of what is actually going on. So I would suggest that you take your person, you're shifting, and you can go onto my website, www.missnicolebrook.com /free, where I have transcend all negative feelings. Yes, you can feel them and transmute them, but don't let them take over your life. You are not your emotions. You experience your emotions, okay? Through knowledge. Knowledge is power, okay? Going into Christ consciousness, what really set me off was Gnostic Christianity. Gnostic Christianity is like early Christianity, where there are 13 scriptures called the Nag Hammadi Library that give you the truth about existence. And so in reading those, it activated all of my DNA and my remembering of figuring out what actually is going on in this world. The Sophia Code by Kaya Ra is a book, but I like to listen to it because it includes activations for your DNA to turn into crystalline as well. Journey. So expanding your consciousness in any way that you can. Quantum physics, astrology, my book resources, okay? Use your discernment and follow your heart. If something does not feel right, it probably isn't right. So trust yourself, okay? Next, taking care of your physical body, okay? Avoiding alcohol. Alcohol is like the number one way that the 3D matrix wants to try to keep you stupid, keep you distracted, and allow negative entities to enter your auric field, okay? Alcohol literally opens up your crown chakra, which allows any negative entity to just be like, boop, and come right into you, okay? So I have never been a big drinker, and I hate alcohol. I do not, alcohol is not a great thing for you to do right now. Processed foods, meats, sugars, they all decrease your frequency. So you're going to want to drink a lot of water, blessing your water, speaking to your water. Like I told you before, it has memory. So if you tell it, I love you, you will be drinking love. And because those nutrients actually help all of the crystalline energy get to the right space in your body to activate your DNA, okay? Making your spiritual development a priority and knowing who you are, okay? So looking at your human design, looking at different things. So you're in that way because astrology is the Great Mother's way of speaking to us through the different energies that each planet gives off and the symbolism behind them. Okay, so learning about yourself, learning about your spiritual development is going to be a priority in fighting the spiritual warfare. Okay, we are going to move into the energy practice right now, okay? So I want you to get settled in and let's do this, okay? The most important thing in spiritual warfare is that you have to ask your guides for help. You have to give them permission to spiritually intervene on your behalf. You are the creator of your reality, and you choose who you want on your side. By default, the majority of humanity is connected to the 3D matrix, okay? Unless you consciously connect with the Godhead, with Jesus, with our Father God, our Mother God, any of these permission, we live on a planet of free will, okay? So the first thing you want to do is go into a space where you can already feel safe and relaxed and enter in just this state of gratitude. Enter in just this state of gratitude, okay? Of being alive, of realizing, oh my God, I have a body. I am blessed if I have a roof over my head, if I have money in my wallet, if I have food, okay? Just feeling gratitude. Then you need to command all entities not vibrating in unconditional love must leave my energy field and this entire house and all of my pets right now. You can use incense in a figure eight motion. You can use Palo Santo, any of these kinds of sacred smells to go around your house, protect and cleanse yourself. You could do it with yourself. And you can go going around the bubble that is going to be your ultimate protection. Okay? Protection from all the light beings who love me unconditionally. I give my full, you can imagine our Father God, you can imagine our Master Jesus, you can imagine Archangel Michael, both inside, outside of your bubble. You can actually imagine them standing there with you, holding your hands, as you breathe in deep release. So let's just take in a deep breath together, feeling completely protected. You can let it out with an audible sigh, because that will relax our vagus. And you invoked in your help, so you have it. And now let's move on to the next step. We're going to reclaim our energy. You can ask. I ask Archangel Michael, for example, to use his sword of lightning, my energy now. I give my full permission to unplug from the 3D matrix and align with my highest destiny in 5D and above with the help of all light beings. So you can imagine Archangel cutting off any cords that are connected to your mind, sword cutting off any cords that are connected to people, places, or things that are draining your energy. If you find yourself in a situation where you have anxiety, to present moment fully. Feel the cords dissolving, and if it's to people or places, it sends love back to them. And you can feel all your energy. I want you to feel all of this white energy coming in. You can imagine golden energy. You can imagine any color of light that you want to come in as you reclaim your power. And I want you to fully stand and feel that you have all your power back and you are fully in this moment with me right now. And now that we have reclaimed our energy, we're going to cleanse it, okay? So we can say, I invoke the Great Mother and the divine feminine forces in the universe to enter my auric field. I give my full permission to conduct a full spiritual cleanse for both me and my family and my birdies who I have over there. And as it goes inside of your body, it activates all your chakras to spin and release any stagnant energy, which sinks down into your root chakra at the base of your being, the base of your spine. And I want you to focus in on that ruby red root chakra and imagine there's a cord of light that goes down beneath your chair into Mother Nature. And as this warm light comes from above, you can imagine those like black pieces of sand, your root chakra, of energy to release back into nature, and Mother Nature, Mother Gaia will know what to do to transmute all of that energy. Your solar plexus from the front, so from the middle of like kind of where your tummy is, from the back and the front. The silver cord is now cleansed, and ready to allow you to astral travel, connected. And when you come back, our full energy, we are whole, we are cleansed, and now we're going to heal. So I invoke Archangel Raphael and give my full permission for a full spirit and etheric bodies. I ask that you heal any discords in my entire auric field with a golden light. I give my full permission and I fully trust the recuperation process and commit to my maximum perfect health. Thank you for your assistance, and so it is. Oh, so I want you to just take a couple of breaths here and imagine yourself as this whole protected, cleansed, and healed being on all levels: physical, spiritual, emotional, your light body, your etheric body. Allow yourself to just be in this golden light in your sacred bubble. And if you happen to be in a meditative state with me right now, as you take some deep breaths, you can just come back into your body. It's important that when we go into a meditative space, that we don't just jolt ourselves out of it, but we start to awaken our body. Good. Well done. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit. You can expect to see miraculous changes on the outside. Be with yourself, drink a lot